D.C. Councilmember Kenyan McDuffie plans to resign. Thanks for joining us on the news at noon. I'm Annie Yu. Our Rafael Sanchez-Cruz joining us live from the Wilson Building with what we are learning about Councilmember McDuffie's resignation plans. Rafael.
Yeah, that's right, Annie. He made that announcement today, calling it the honor of a lifetime. So Councilmember Kenyan McDuffie will be serving until January 5th. And essentially, this is just gearing things up for his potential run for DC mayor. And I say potential because he hasn't made a formal announcement just yet. Councilmember Kenyan McDuffie, who is an at-large member and an independent, has been serving DC for 13 years now. He was first elected to represent Ward 5, which is now represented by Councilmember Zachary Parker. Now, like I mentioned, no official announcement just yet about a potential mayoral run, but in that release that we received today, he called this announcement, he said the announcement regarding his next chapter will be made in the near future. Sources have been telling us that in early January, he plans to make that official announcement. He also said, quote, "The work is not finished. The next chapter will allow us to continue to fight and deliver on the tremendous progress we've made together with a further focus on greater affordability, economic security and opportunity, safety, and real long-term solutions to our greatest challenges." So today is officially his last legislative meeting as an at-large council member. And look, this really gears things up for the mayoral race. And we know why now. So sources are telling us that he decided to make the announcement now and wait so that a special election wouldn't be held. That means that DC taxpayer money will not be used to find his replacement. However, Chairman Phil Mendelson tells us that the process to find his replacement will really be now the decision of the DC Council, and that process has already started. He says several candidates have already been reaching out to him. I asked him to walk us through what that process looks like, and this is what he has to say.
I would like ideally someone who has enough of a sense of the government in the district that they aren't completely lost when they're appointed. We're going to be going into budget. It's very hard to find somebody who would be knowledgeable about the district's budget unless we look at a former council member. I don't know that we're going to do that. So I think we're probably going to have someone who has been active and knowledgeable about district affairs.
So that replacement would have to be a registered independent or Republican. We asked Chairman Phil Mendelson if it's the opportunity to select a Republican, that way kind of signaling to Capitol Hill the efforts that the DC Council is doing right now when there's so much scrutiny coming from Capitol Hill about how the district is being run. He said potentially, but he did not want to give us any names or any more additional insight. He said he did not want to create any news surrounding some of the potential candidates that the DC Council could be considering. Now back to Kenyan McDuffie. Look, the day before Thanksgiving, I asked him, I said, what does this process look like? He says it's long conversations with his family. He says his wife knows what she signed up for. He's been a public servant his entire life. He says his family is ready. And I asked him why now? He says that it was really DC community members and organizations and leaders who reached out to him and said, look, it's time for you to run. We have not heard an official support from Mayor Muriel Bowser for any candidate. However, she has signaled at a recent event and said, if you guys like me, you will like Kenyan McDuffie, and she kind of winked there. So that kind of points us in the direction of what she might be looking in the future. So live at the Wilson Building, I'm Rafael Sanchez-Cruz. Back to you, Annie.
All right, we will have to wait and see, of course, stepping away from his council seat, one of the first steps if he does expect to run for the mayor's position. Thank you, Rafael.